So we're going to start off class by watching a video, and we're continuing our color schemes lecture. So automatically what I want you to do and what I want you to be paying attention to is mood. So how do we know what the mood, what the tone is of this scene? Okay, so we're just going to watch this video. I want you to be focusing on the mood and the tone for this scene.
Stop steaming up my tail! What are you trying to do? Wrinkle it?
So do we think this is a happy scene? Do we think that the tone or the mood is angry? What do we think is going on?
Meet public.
What do you think that bull is feeling right now? How do you know? Okay, so we clearly know that the tone for that scene. So we're going to be continuing our lecture from yesterday based off of color schemes. So we're going to be continuing learning about color schemes, but we're going to be doing more of an analysis of how colors can be used to portray a message. Okay, so color schemes. Where do we see color schemes? Color schemes are basically everywhere. You can see color schemes when you walk outside in nature. You can see color schemes. You see color schemes when you go to buy shoes, fashion, as we've talked about extensively. You see color schemes when you play video games, when you go and watch a movie, etc., etc. So today we're going to be looking at different areas where you're going to see color schemes, and the messages are very well thought out in terms of the colors that they use. Okay. So again, thinking back on yesterday, we talked about how colors can be used to portray messages. We have, for example, red to symbolize love, immediacy, energy, sale, passion, anger, and hunger. And on another end, we have blue to symbolize trust, smarts, calmness, faith, natural, stable, and power. So all of the colors that are used in advertising and marketing carries a meaning, and they're used in a very specific way so that the marketers, the advertisers, the games portray the meaning that the artist wants them to receive. So we're going to look at a few examples. So we have a few video games that we might be more than familiar with. The first one we have is Call of Duty. So we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And as we can see, we see that we have a very specific color scheme. We have a monochromatic color scheme. So the color that is used in this game case is green. Different shades of greens, different intensities of green, but a majority of the case is green. So what does that mean? When we look at this case, we know one, it's not necessarily eco-friendly, but we know that a large part of the game is going to be taking place in nature, in the wild, in a place where there's a lot of wildlife. On the other hand, we have a different game case, Red Dead Redemption 2, which uses red and orange. So we know that this case, using those colors, is portraying an image that's intense, it's passionate, it's violent. As you can see, the person on the cover has a weapon. So these colors are used very specifically to portray that message. And on the far right, we have 2K 2020. I know a lot of my boys are going to be loving this. So this video game case uses the color red, and opposed to Red Dead Redemption, where we're portraying passion and violence, this game cover is portraying energy. So the game is not violent, but it's still passionate. It is still very energetic. I know that some of my boys are really passionate and they're put a lot of energy into basketball, so you can clearly understand why these colors would be used. On the other hand, we have two different kinds of games. So we have The Sims, which uses a predominantly blue color, and we have that monochrome in the background. So we have different tones of blues and things of that nature in the background. So this game is supposed to be representing a little bit more calmness. It's supposed to be a little smarter because it's geared toward how you live your lifestyle in this game. So it's not necessarily just energy and passion. It's more about calm, intelligence. It's trying to give you that idea and that feeling of living a lifestyle that's really calculated. And on the other side, we have Minecraft. So we have a lot of greens, we have a lot of blues. Again, this game is a strategy game. So if you've ever played Minecraft, you know that you have to mine for different stones and things like that, and mine for wood to make weapons, etc., etc. So you have to be smart when you're going around and trying to mine different things. So again, as I was saying, if we look at our Minecraft cover, we see a lot of blues, we see a lot of greens. So you have to be strategic in what you're mining for so that you can make the fires, you can make the weapons, etc., etc. Okay, so we can use color schemes to portray different moods, different ideas of how the players are interacting with the game. Okay. Next, we're going to be looking at a couple examples of how color schemes can be used in movies. So we have a very famous movie cover here where a majority of the movie cover is gray. There are a lot of different grays, so it's almost a monochromatic color scheme. And then in the middle, or just off to the right, we have a little girl in a red coat. And in this movie, this girl represents passion. So a large majority of the movie is really dreary. It's sad. It's not very fulfilling. But you have this little girl in this red coat that's representing passion and intimacy, etc., etc. We also have a movie that is very popular that recently came out. We have Bird Box. So as you look at this movie cover, we see that the bandages that are on the eyes are red and blue. So that blue that's covering the main character's eyes represents her smarts, represents her faith in getting to safety. And the red on the children's eyes, even though it looks brown, it's a dull red, and that represents her passion and them being the children being the reason why she's so passionate about getting them to safety. So we have these colors that are painting this picture even before you watch the movie of what to expect. And that's going to be what we're going to be focusing on in our lecture today. So for the assignment, what I'm going to have you do in the Google form, we're going to review the color schemes, and we're also going to have you give me examples of games or movies that you can see that you've seen colors represent a very specific message or mood.